Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Day 8. It's a dark day. Okay, it's nighttime. Missed you all day. Sorry guys, it's been a dark and dismal day for me actually. Been pretty mellow, just doing a little bit of work, sent out a mailing list, very light. Otherwise drinking water, listening to some audios, and watched a little bit of a show. That's about it. Pretty mellow, nothing too much to report. Been a little down in the dumps today, a little depressed, not so positive. Not the best to share, but you know, it's part of it, right? You're digging deep and releasing all that crud from your fat cells and from your body, and releasing past emotions and past foods. That's what happens sometimes. That's day 8. The Hooded Menace. But better days tomorrow, more fun info. Much love. Holy Hannah. Day 9. You know, it looks a little pixelated. I hope I'm not this unclear for you guys in the video. If you are, I guess that's how it goes. Part of this fasting series, I used Brian and Jody's little camera that was a little bit better quality. But for part of it, I'm just using my computer camera. You know, I'm feeling a heck of a lot better today. Last 3-4 days have been pretty dark in parts, but you know, just like the newspaper, the top sensationalized, maybe 5% of the society's negativity gets showcased. Why? That's what people want to hear. In my case, that's just what bubbles to the surface, and you know, that's pretty regular, I think. You know, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times people spend the time talking about the things that ail them, that disgruntle them, that annoy them, that sadden them, that frustrate them. Why? Because those things, they need to be leaked. You know, you need to let go of those things. You need to see them, accept them, love them, and let them go. So through doing that, you lose your graspingness of them, because otherwise they just roll around in your head, you know? So, I don't know, I woke up this morning to this beautiful view. It's insane. You won't believe this. It's off my balcony here in Get a Vida. Pretty ridiculous. This morning I woke up and I kind of felt like stretching a little bit. I did a little bit of a short meditation, a little bit of Kundalini, a little bit of light sit down floor hatha, which is really good. Listening to a little bit of Neil Young to top it off. It's been pretty darn sweet. Looks like I just got about an hour of that. Hydrating up a little bit more. Realized the last couple of days I haven't been drinking quite as much water as I normally would. Help usher those toxins out of my body instead of just concentrating. I'm actually really feeling blessed, you know. Like the last few days, feeling all these darker emotions, judgments, fears, insecurities. It's really just another chance to see them, love them, and let them go. You know, it's everything in its perfect place, everything in the process. You know, everything comes up for a reason. I know that these are feelings that I've had in the past, strong feelings I've had in the past that I'd accepted to a degree, but some of them I just shoveled under. And you know, the stuff that we suppress, the stuff we shovel under, it comes back stronger and stronger each time until we see the point, until we see the signpost saying, hey, check this out, deal with it, otherwise it's going to come back again, you know. And so, you know, it feels really like a big burden has started to have been lifted off and allowed for me to look at and process. When we really look at everything as perfection, every single emotion, every single action, everything that happens in this world as perfection, all has its place and its reason, we can let go of it a lot. And it's that graspingness, is that when these things come up, that we grasp onto it, we think about it, we rotate it in our head 100 times. That's what gives it power. That's what gives it control over the rest of our day, over our emotions, over our life, and over the way we treat others. But when we just allow it to come up, we see it, we acknowledge it, and we go, hey, yeah, that's a part of me, but we don't grasp onto it. We don't let it roll around our head and worry and fear about it. then it stops coming up as much. It's accepted, it's seen, but it's just not grasped onto. It's that graspingness to the fear, to the judgment, to the hate, to the lack of self-love, the lack of love with others. It's pretty powerful stuff. Amazing book. Radical Forgiveness talks about this a bunch more. There's a lot of other great books that talk about stuff like this a little bit. Conversations with God, book 1, 2, and 3, some of the best books ever. It talks about that within, I think, book 1. Something else I really wanted to talk a little bit about is another way that you can really help out with elimination, with detoxification, with clearing of your lymphatic system, circulation. You wouldn't know it. Skin brushing. I talked about it a little bit. This is a natural loofah.
Look at the loofah! Look at it!
It actually grows on a tree in a pod that kind of looks almost like a big butternut squash almost, but just elongated like a sausage or something. I don't know. But anyways, the basic premise of skin brushing, our lymphatic system works along a series of pumps, which really only go one way. They go back to the heart to be cleansed, for the blood to be cleansed, because this is all the extragenous waste from the blood, and from, you know, the foods we eat and from the activity we do and any of the cellular processes. So since they only have a one-way mechanism, they're pretty much reliant upon bouncing and being active and, you know, running around, because as we bounce we allow that lymph to come up into the next chamber, and then there's a one-way valve that doesn't allow it to go back down in. Times like this when you're fasting, you're not quite bouncing around as very much, or any time really, you know. It can be useful to utilize skin brushing to help that elimination process. Floss. You can start with the feet, or you can start with the hands. Scrub around little circles around some areas like the heels and the ankles and the feet and stuff like that, and then in the long parts, the legs, the arms, long even strokes towards the heart, a couple of them along each surface of your body. Your stomach, chest, you know, you can do little circles and then go towards the heart. Try and get the back, you can. This actually helps, just like a rope, so you can, you know, really get back in there. Just a whole bunch of seeds in here, it's pretty cool. So I'll show you a little bit of that. Ideally done naked, so you can do it all the way up your torso, legs, everywhere. Best done before a nice shower or bath. See the point with that, and hands, you know.
This is the way I skin brush my body, I skin brush my body, I skin brush my body. Oh my god.
Torso support.
Ooh. Ah.
Nice neck. You do your face.
Do your face.
Now obviously do it a little bit better and a little bit longer, taking time to do it on each side and, you know, evenly. Don't feel like I need to give you a 10-minute video of me scrubbing my body. Or do I? Anyways, you know, you can research a lot. I'm going to do a little bit of a write-up on skin brushing. You know, whole books have been dedicated to the subject. A little bit overboard personally, you know, there's entire protocols that are like 50 points and take like a half an hour to do, 50 strokes on one arm, 7 clockwise circles on each breast and on the stomach, and then 8 counterclockwise circles. And I don't know, I'm sorry, I think that's just ridiculous. I'm not a huge traditionalist. Best to be known. Day 9. Doing great. Much love. See you guys tomorrow.
I like skin brushing. Yeah, dude, it's good.